What's happening, guys? My name is OTG and I'd like to welcome you to episode number 10 of our Colchester United Career Mode series. And it is a very special episode because in episode 10 we are going to have 10 games and the video is stacking up to 23 minutes long. And we're kicking things off with Doncaster. And you know, guys, this is a long one, so I would advise putting it on full screen, sticking that 720p on and just relaxing and watching and listening to the commentary. You can just turn off the screen if you like, just listen to the commentary. I will tell you exactly what's going on, but I would advise watching it because Doncaster do get off to an okay start. And explain to me, in what world is that a penalty? I mean, for crying out loud, how is that a penalty? I mean, all he's done is take the ball off him, but then he just scored a nice penalty, Painter. So I can't really take that away from him. But only a few minutes later, John Taylor running down the wing, and you know, this is a penalty. That's a penalty. The other one, not a penalty. That is a blatant penalty. They have nothing to argue for. He just rammed into him like a bulldozer. And we're going to have the main man step up, Freddie Sears, because, you know, he is the top scorer in the league. Why wouldn't you use him? Who else is there? Until January comes round, he is our top guy. And he does put it in the back of the net after a bit of luck. The goalkeeper could have done more. It's just like he stood there and then he just went horizontal like 5 seconds later. And he just pushes it in the back of the net. But that has happened with the lower ranked keepers. That happens quite a lot. They do spill it. And just watch it from this angle. It's quite weird what he actually does. It's like he has his hand right there and he just hits his thumb. And his thumb just comes off or something. It's really weird. But that's in the 17th minute. But they do go 2-1 up thanks to Tungai. He stops the ball. He flicks it onto his left foot and puts it into the back of the net. Cannot fault him there. He scored a nice goal. He's decent. But you know, we could have avoided it. I mean, just watch it here. Bit of fancy footwork. And like, oh god, I just wish he would have got down lower. And you know, Okawonge could have done more. Just watching it again, it's like quite annoying because he slid and look, it just goes through both of them to put Doncaster 2-1 up. But we were never going to die down there. Anthony Wordsworth and Raheem Sterling passing it about to Freddie Sears. He turns and he smashes it in the top left-hand corner. Now, I wouldn't exactly say that is a contender for goal of the season because I think the hot favourite at the moment is Wordsworth, absolute stunning scissor kick. But you know, things could change. You know, anything could happen. And I don't know, you could switch things around, I don't know. It could, like, Freddie Sears could score an absolute stunner from the halfway line. Now, that would win, obviously, or Wordsworth could score a stunner. But we do, in fact, draw that game 2-all. When we go into our next game against Yeovil, I don't know, I really had high expectations for this one, because Yeovil were down the bottom of the table, and Doncaster were in the top 3. So, you know, a point against them was not too bad, seeing as we did have a poor start. But I went for their nice yellow and black kit, Yeovil. Because for some reason they've got two really leery kits, which I think they kind of look like tigers clawed them, and it's really weird. But you see the teams we go for. We go for the normal team, and the main headline in this is Andy Bond, who's returning to his former club, Colchester. We sold him to Yeovil for like 50k, and now he's returning back. And you know, I think we don't get off to the best of starts in the 10th minute. You know, of all people could score, it had to be Andy Bond. I mean, what sort of celebration would he do? That was what I was thinking. And he just slides on the floor, and then he gives a fist pump. So, you know, at this point, I was shouting and sticking my middle finger up and saying, "You gay homosexual twat," like you do. And I just was not really happy that he done that reaction. I think they should bring that into the game. But Anthony Wordsworth does run through clean, and with his right foot, overpower finesses it into the bottom right-hand corner. They give us a point at the end of the match. You watch, he just places that into the back of the net with ease. And, you know, we did actually make some subs. We brought on Sterling. So Massey did, in fact, start this match. I did not catch that. And, you know, that is how the game ended, guys. Thanks to Anthony Wordsworth. We do get a point against Yeovil. Quite disappointing. But, you know, it's a point against Yeovil. That we've always had problems against them because they are quite a physical, tough team. They just can never get 3 points. Then we go into an FA Cup match against Leyton Orient. I simulated this one because I really wasn't bothered. And I mean, I weren't bothered at all. It was just one of them games I just wanted to get over and done with. And it's Leyton Orient. I thought, yeah, we can beat these. These are pretty easy, aren't they? Turns out they weren't really. We were held on. I think they were like lower mid-table. We were a lot better than them because they were a lot better when I play. But when we simulate, it seems like we're shocking. And Kevin Lisby, a former Colchester player again. So the former Colchester players are scoring like mad against us. But Kevin Lisby puts 1-0 up, And I was just hoping they could get back, but they couldn't. For some reason, they took off Okawonge for White. That makes no sense because he is our solid centre-back. And we lose the FA Cup, so we're out of that. I'm not really bothered, to be honest. But we go into our next match against Carlisle United. And I believe we are now on to our fourth match. And Carlisle have got no former Colchester players, so you'll be pleased to know. But we was going to go into this one full guns blazing. Was not going to give up. I was pretty pissed off that I've only got 2 points from my last 2 league games. That Doncaster I felt we was pretty good in and dominating, and Yeovil were Yeovil, and Leighton Orient simulated. I wasn't too bothered about this, but I had a fury. I knew I had to take it out on someone. We had yet to dominate a game and absolutely own someone, and this game was that game. Because we start off best as possible with Raheem Sterling earning us a penalty, and once again that is a penalty, but the first penalty that Doncaster got was not a penalty. We might do a comparison like later on in the year or something, like highlights of my year. But we have Freddie Sears step up in the 10th minute, and it's Freddie Sears. He's going to put that in the back of the net any day of the week. He is just an absolutely amazing player, and I've recently found there's been quite a few penalties. In the last episode, I think there was maybe one, and the episode before that there was. So penalties are quite apparent. So the impact engine is failing a lot and giving away too many penalties. I noticed that I've been playing some Ultimate Team and just clipped them on the shoulder or even just on the toe, and they go flying. So Ashley Young's are going on. But we go 1-0 up in the 11th minute, and things get a lot better for us with John Taylor using his overpowered pace, running down the right, crossing it in, chest down by Sears, and that's a lovely goal. Personally, I think that is a contender for goal of the season. I keep saying this, I'm sorry, but you wouldn't say, oh, it's not a wonder strike, but just if you watch the replay, he just chests that down and first time just puts that in the back of the net. That's hard. And for a silver player, we'll say silver, but for a middle ranked player, that is very difficult. And that's only 4 minutes after his first. And then in the 37th minute, he scores this, and it's like he scored a hat-trick in 37 minutes. That's pretty impressive for our team. And I was dominating this, and I was thinking, yes, 7 goal smashing, 8 goals. But you know, this is FIFA. They could have a turnaround any minute. They could just shock us. But a bit of a dodgy cross from Sterling, and that was really nice, just kicking it against the floor. But in fact, there was no turnaround. There was no absolute thrashing. That's how it ended, 3-0. I would have liked more goals, but with 1-3-0, I cannot complain. It was a great game. For me personally, if I was playing it like the Brentford game we had, we just were attacking but had nothing. But these guys were not even attacking. They just basically were like sitting ducks. So that was a pretty eventful match. And I really did enjoy it. Freddie Sears showed why he is a world-class player. And this episode will actually lead us into January. And I get quite a few offers. And then we come up against John Taylor's former club. And this was a big one. I wanted to play him, and I wanted to see what he was capable of, to see if he could score against his former club for starters. Because this is an absolute cracking match as well. But if he could score against his former club, I would obviously rub it in their faces. Because I signed this guy for £100,000, and he has been an absolute stunning player. Him, Sterling and Sears up front have been flawless. Pogba and Wordsworth have been absolutely amazing. Magda Okawonge has been a tank at defence, and Cousin has been pretty solid for us. So, you know, the team is gelling really well, and there's Wordsworth wearing the captain's armband like he is now in real life. And here is actually the league table. So at this point we are 5th, so we're doing pretty well for ourselves. And at the end of the episode I'll show you where we are. As you can see, Doncaster and 3rd, but they have a game in hand. And, you know, I was watching out for Swindon's results, but they do get off to the better start with one of these glitchy FIFA goals. Dobble, I don't know what the hell was going on. I bet John Taylor had his head in his hands. I mean, what is going on there? It just falls to him and he just turns perfectly. You know, it would normally like have a dodgy touch or something, but no. A bronze player like that, a really low-ranked player can just do this, and, well, it's a goal. I can't be angry. I knew I was going to come back because they were so poor. Like, it was 5 minutes in and I had like 4 shots already. But they get another goal only a few minutes later with Morgan, who they were actually saying was out of form. So I was pretty shocked when he scored a goal against our team. And they were 2-0 up, Shrewsbury. So I think they were 3rd from bottom and they were 2-0 up. And I was like, what's going on here? And Freddie Sears just runs past them and scores a goal like you do. It was a nice goal. He just used his pace. They had a really poor defence. They were all really big and had like really midget wingers and a midget for midfield. But Freddie Sears finessing it weirdly though. It was like a weird finesse. And then only a few minutes later, John Taylor coming to haunt his former club, and Freddie Sears puts it in the back of the net. So, you know, they didn't celebrate that much. It was just one of them goals. Just wanted to get on with it and try and get the 3 points. Sears scoring a nice goal once again, making it difficult for himself. He could have just tapped it in the back of the net simply, but he never wanted to do that, did he? And you know, we go in then in the 80th, around the 80th minute. Freddie Sears turns and Freddie Sears smashes it into the top corner. So the revival has been complete. We are 3-2 up at this point, and we are absolutely cruising. We had never stopped attacking them, and you know, they were really, really poor. I mean, they were shocking. I mean, it goes through his legs, for Christ's sake. It's not the top corner though. From the angle we watch, it looked top corner. He keeps on doing that where he swivels round the defender and puts in the back of the net. It was so powerful that keeper couldn't even get to it. But they do get a chance in the last few minutes with Parry, and he crosses it into the box. And this is just FIFA being FIFA. We get a foul. I mean, yeah, it's a foul, okay, whatever. Keep things going. Ball into the box. What the fuck just happened? I mean, come on. We were dominant. I think it was Okawonga who had that. Yeah, he had that covered, and somehow it doesn't get to him, and I was really pissed off because we had to draw 3-3 with Shrewsbury. So that is another point we've picked up. So we've actually picked up 6 points in 4 games, I believe. 6 points in 5 games. We'll say we've picked up 6 games. Well, 6 points in 4 games. Around about that, around 4 or 5 games. 5 games it must be, using math. But we go into our next match against Doncaster Rovers. It's the second time we've played these, and I can tell you this for a fact. We played not so good at home, but when we're away, we seem to be playing quite good football. But it's a iffy match, I think. That's probably the best way to describe it. You know, we've been playing decent football, but I don't know. We've been playing good football, but we haven't been delivering. As you can see, we're still 5th. Somehow, Portsmouth and Bournemouth have not been able to overtake us. And just thinking about it, we have picked up 6 points in the 4 league games. But it takes us till the 55th minute to sweat it out with Raheem Sterling and scoring a nice little goal, really, to get past all them players. You see here, I think that was Brian Wilson, and he put it through some players there, including the keeper, put it in the back of the net. And then what happens? We are delivering. We were dominating this match. They take it into the box, and once again a dodgy header puts them in with a chance of a point, and I was pissed off again. What a shocker. EA have done it to me again. I can dominate a game, but not deliver. And, you know, it was Doncaster. I was okay. I wasn't exactly annoyed. And look, offside flag. If you have a look there, offside flag's up. Now, look at the offside. That is offside. So why the hell is it standing? You know, if that was a real game, then surely you'd go over there and have an inquiry. But we get a point against Doncaster. Can't be too angry. It's a point against the team in 3rd. That's really where I want to be finishing. 3rd and 2nd is where I want to be. But we go into our next match against Preston North End, who I think we've played before, and we had an okay game against them. I think it was Alumo who gave us some problems. A former Colchester player, again, but he's not starting this one. He's on the bench with the number 15 on the back of his shirt. And, you know, this game was always going to be difficult because Preston are in our sort of round where we are. They're in the same boat as us. We're trying to get playoffs and playoffs to promotion, but it's always going to be hard because we're playing against Sheffield United and Coventry, who are 2 world-class teams, and Doncaster. Well, not I wouldn't say world-class. Charlton were once a world-class team, and Coventry used to be in the Premier League for a little time. But Preston get off to the best possible start. We're in the 29th minute with Proctor. He scores a nice goal. But going back, Coventry and Charlton, they weren't world-class teams, but you could say they were championship teams. They were around where championship contenders, mid-range championship teams, and they deserved to be around that area. I believe it was Sheffield United, not Charlton. Yeah, it was Sheffield United. I don't know why I said Charlton. I'm confused. But we do get back into the match with Raheem Sterling sweating it out like a good one. But yeah, Charlton I think are in around the relegation zones in this. I haven't checked the championship for a while, but I believe I keep seeing I saw a flash up of it or something on my screen. But we're 1-0, and Anthony Wordsworth plays it over the top to John Taylor. John Taylor heads it down, and Freddie Sears puts it in the back of the net with a nice volley. But did you see the defenders? They went like snails. I've had this before where I was playing, I can't remember what it was. I think it was on my old Newcastle one, where they just stopped for a while. and this is ruining my game, to be honest. I don't know why it keeps doing this. We win the match, I'm not going to lie, I enjoy the points. But why did they stop? It's like, why? I was enjoying the match, it was a challenge, I was having fun, and they just stopped doing that. It's like scripting went my way, but I can't complain. But we're going to our next match against Walsall, who I would be hoping to take 3 points off of. And we do play Massey down the left instead of Sterling. We're switching them two round because they're both very good players in their own right, and they both can score goals when they want to. But Walsall also are always going to be a challenge. But you know, we should be dominating them. They're going to put in an effort, but we are a lot better than them. But you know, you've got the different teams in our league. We've got the top of the range, Coventry's and Sheffield United, Doncasters, and us actually at the moment in good form. Haven't lost a game for a long time. I can't remember when we last lost a match. Or Leighton Orient in the league, we'll say them. But and then we've got the middle range, so you've got the Prestons and the Scunthorpes and Brentford. Then you've got the lowers, where you've got Shrewsbury, Walsall, Hartlepool and Stevenage. And you know, I'm quite pleased where we are at the moment. But Freddie Sears does get us in the lead with this absolute cracker. I love this slow motion shot, top corner from there, just at half time, and that is how the game actually ended. So we won that match against Walsall. I would have liked to score a few more goals and get our goal difference risen, but we get the win. And then we come up against Hartlepool, who are second from bottom in the league, also our bottom. And you know, it was bottom up, two bottom teams, and we had a bit of a weird colour clash in our kits. You know, I've got to live with it. But you know, I was always gonna be a bit of a difficult one, Hartlepool. I don't know. I found Walsall more difficult than Hartlepool because I don't know. I just had more expectations to own Walsall more than Hartlepool. I just thought I'd beat them easier. But we do get off to a good start. A lovely little cheeky chip from Sears. And in fact, Raheem Sterling goes at the back post and puts it in the back of the net. I'd like the chip to have ended, but you know, in the 7th minute, I'm going to take a goal, and I'm gonna eat that up any day of the week. You watch, cheeky chip, and that is nice. From that angle, you can see it was going wide, so he had to put it in the back of the net. But a goal's a goal. Raheem Sterling is really finding his feet at the moment at the club, and I'm kind of enjoying using him. And then the ball comes into the box, and you have another one of these glitchy FIFA goals where the keeper and the defenders go to flop, and they score a goal. And you know, Gaynor scores the goal, header. I don't know. Defence could have done a lot more than what they did, and you know, I don't know. I kind of hate this. Look, two defenders, they go for the header, and it glitches through the head. Watch, glitches through the head. Now, what the hell's going on? Come on, EA, sort it out. But it's 1-0 in the 23rd minute, and you know, Hartlepool then push forward, and they score one of them goals, which I believe we had earlier on with Leighton Orient. No, it was not Leighton Orient. It was Doncaster with Tugay. And you know, it's like when they just quickly change their feet and just put it in the back of the net. Like, keeper can't do anything. A little bit of script in there. So obviously that little running slowly glitch is not changed. And it's kind of annoying when Hartlepool, as I said, I found Hartlepool easier, but for some reason I could not put it past them. And I don't know. But they were a lot easier than Walsall, because they put in more of an effort, Walsall. But Raheem Sterling scores his second of the game with a lovely strike from there, from basically standing still, puts it in the back of the net. And if you watch here, quite a good play there by Sears. Stands still basically and puts it in the back of the net. That is a really nice goal. And we were always going to keep pushing, and we got our rewards in the 85th minute. Freddie Sears cutting back onto his left foot and puts that into the back of the net. What a goal from Freddie Sears. I love this kid. But you know, if he comes with a good offer in January, I'd say like 5 to 6 million, I'm going to have to snatch that up. I can bring in more players. I know I took the financial takeover, but I'm only buying young players that have got experience, that will gain experience and help us get in the leagues. No one to stand out like these high rank players. Swallowed my own saliva. I don't know what I'd done. I was just talking too much. But we do, in fact, win that game 3-2. And as I was saying, we are trying to bring in them players that are going to make a huge impact on our team in the near future, and in fact the gradual future if we do get to the Premier League, because I think it will take like season 4, and we're in season 2 here, but like season 3 and then season 4. The reason it says season 2, if you're only just joining us, is because I did play in Newcastle 1, and then we switched to this, and I didn't want to call it season 1. I wanted to like gradually call it on. So it's season 2, and we go into our next match against Leighton Orient, who in fact are we played them in the FA Cup and we lost, so we had a bit of a vengeance to almost. We had to get our revenge against them, and this is in fact our last game of the episode. So we've done pretty well for ourselves, and after this we are in the January transfer window. But we do get off to a good start with Freddie Sears playing it across. He has the shot, and then a nice glitchy goal from John Taylor. I think that was an own goal, but I don't mind if they give it to Taylor. He's scoring goals, he's enjoying himself, and that's a really, really good play to put us 1-0 up against Leyton Orient. So we were paying the favour, and I think last time we was at home, now we're away, we're dominating. But Wordsworth, like passing it across, not a sweaty goal, and Raheem Sterling puts it in the back of the net. That was Freddie Sears' lovely run. And Wordsworth is such a good all-round midfielder. I like him so much. I mean, like, he's just so underrated in all games. And, you know, I've used him in Football Manager, and I think he actually gets potential, and he's worth quite a bit sometimes, depending on how his career path ends. But Leyton Orient do score a goal. Mark Cousins is beaten at the near post, and, you know, I come to expect this to happen. So in January, we will be bringing in a new goalkeeper. And guys, if you have any suggestions on players we can get, leave them down below. I have already done a bit of January transfer window and brought in some new faces, but I'm always open to more ideas and people that have a good potential. But Freddie Sears picks it up from the midfield and runs the whole length of the pitch just to sweat it to John Taylor into the back of the net. The reason I done that is just because I needed the goal. Career mode is acceptable, but on Ultimate Team it's not. And I wanted the extra goal difference in general, to be honest. You know, it's quite hard to gain that goal difference, but yeah, because it's so hard to get goals in this league. It's such a tight league. And that, in fact, is how it ends, 3-1. So the last match, we do end up getting all 3 points. And, you know, this has been a pretty productive episode. 10 games, of course, guys. And once we are over this, I do, in fact, get some news, some important news, that Magnus Okwonga is not going to leave our club. He's actually very settled where he is. So I'm over the moon with that. And I do get an offer to join this club called Olusun Hyundai. I think they're a Korean team, and I do reject that. And this is where we are in the league. We are, in fact, in 3rd place. Doncaster moved down to 5th, but they do have a game in hand, so they can leapfrog me and Swindon. So we've made some progress in a sense. But, you know, looking at that league, it's not bad at all. There's Leyton Orient in 14th. You know what I mean by them. The middle-class teams all in there. But we are 3rd in the league, and that is very, very impressive to me. You know, I really do enjoy that. And then we go over to our squad report. And you see, look, we've got Mark Cousins there on 43, Brian Wilson, Matt Heath, Magnus Okwonga, all them as it runs through, guys. I would like to say that thank you all for tuning in for this episode. It's been around 23-24 minutes long, and you can see all these players going up and increasing. And I think later on in the next episode, we do pick up an injury with Freddie Sears. But I'd like to say thank you guys for watching. My name is OTG, and I'll see you guys in whatever my next video is. Bye, guys.